So if we keep our physical gold, the gold that's in Fort Knox, but take the gold certificates, bring them up to current fair market value, and then convert them to Bitcoin, we can achieve President Trump's goal of having this happen on a budget neutral basis, meaning no new taxpayer dollars would be needed to create a strategic Bitcoin reserve. And
now, we could quite possibly be seeing in real time the biggest absolute chess games in the political, financial landscape on a global scale, and possibly the biggest rug pull of the century. So stay tuned. Crypto chaos got you spinning, watching the next meme token skyrocket while you're still trying to figure out your next move? Flapjacks brings clarity to the chaos with deflationary burns, fitness-driven utility, and a syrupy community that sticks together. This isn't just another token, it's a movement. Why stress when you can stack? Flip the game with Flapjacks at flapjacks.xyz. Hey guys, welcome back. Drip Coach here with Drip and Farm for Poverty, where we don't trust, we verify, and operate with integrity and transparency. That was Cynthia Lummis talking about the bringing up the current gold certificates that are on the U.S. Treasury to the current market value. Currently, there is approximately 8,133 tons of gold valued at $42.22 on the books. And this is the strategy that Michael Saylor had pitched, and we're going to go to that clip as well. But what I want to bring up is, we don't know if this is happening, but there are definitely some questionable things lining up. The fact that gold is hitting or has hit an all-time high recently, and the US dollar, well, number two, Bitcoin decoupling from the stock market. Where is that in X? Damn, I got so many things open, I gotta find it. There's this showing the Dow Jones down, the QQQ down, S&P down, but Bitcoin, MSTR, and GameStop, because these are all now using Bitcoin on their balance sheet, they're all up. So we're witnessing in real time the decoupling, and then we're also seeing the actual dollar being taking a hit. So if there was a global chess move being made by Trump with these tariffs and everything that he says and tweets out purposely to get people into emotional states, the absolute best thing he could do is bring the value of the dollar down while simultaneously strengthening gold. Because if you're sitting on a bunch of gold that is currently marked at a $750 billion deficit, that is a huge global chess move. So listen to this clip here that this person on X put together, Unusual Whales.
Trump is crashing the stock market by 20% this month, but he's doing it on purpose. And this is why Warren Buffett just said Trump is making the best economic moves he's seen in over 50 years. Now, here's the secret game he's playing, and it could make you rich. So why is he doing this? To push cash into treasuries, which forces the Fed to slash interest rates in May, and those lower rates give the Fed the ability to refinance trillions of debt very inexpensively. It also weakens the dollar and drops mortgage rates. Now, it's a wild chess move, but it's working. Now, you're probably wondering, what about his tariffs? Well, I'll tell you, it's a genius play. It actually forces companies to build here to dodge them. It also forces farmers to sell more of their products here in the US to bring grocery prices way down. We've already seen this with eggs. Now, remember, 94% of all stocks are owned only by 8% of Americans. So Trump, he's taking from the rich short term and handing it to the middle class through lower prices.
And we're seeing that happen with the stock market. Stock market has taken a beating based off of this, and this all came when he announced the tariffs. Now, if you're trying to swing one political narrative to another, you might be under the illusion that this is the absolute worst that we've seen in the stock market, but you can come and run the numbers yourself, doing a quick price and range discovery, And you'll see that as of right now, we are down to 17% from where we were early in January. But literally in November, what is this? January 22nd through October, we dropped 25. And during COVID, we dropped 32% in a matter of weeks. So this is not unusual. 17 is still big for the stock market, but it actually pales in comparison for the last 2 drops over the last 5 years. So it's nothing, he's not doing anything drastic, so to speak. You may not like it, but if again this lines up with these global chess moves, then there's a much bigger opportunity at foot. And it's funny just going through the Watcher Guru headlines to see like this taking place in real time. Yeah, it started here. Let's see. China imposed additional, so China retaliates 34%. California is like, yo, take me out of this. I don't want to be part of this retaliatory tariffs. Unemployment, that's outside of that. My policies will never change. JP Morgan's a 60% chance of recession. China played it wrong about the 34%. 1.5 trillion wiped out of the stock market. 4.7 billion in stocks yesterday, the most in a decade. Cambodia to cut tariffs on select U.S. imports to 5% down from 35. NASDAQ 100 officially enters bear market territory. Vietnam president told him they will cut tariffs, so they want to negotiate. Jerome Powell now looks like he hasn't said anything, but when he starts talking, he's like, oh, the tariffs are bigger than expected, risking higher inflation. This means he will basically be able to act, and he can kind of be, it wasn't my fault, I had to respond kind of thing. Tariffs will rise inflation in the coming quarters. The officials say Trump is at peak of not giving a fuck anymore. U.S. stock market on pace for its worst 2-day decline in 5 years. President Trump, the TikTok deal, he thinks is still on the table. Yeah, it's just a bunch of these just back and forth about it, how bad this is. But then even this one is a telltale sign. 3.2 trillion wiped out of the U.S. stock market and 5.4 billion added to the crypto market. So again, nobody knows what he's doing, but he has hired a bunch of people in powerful positions that come from TradFi and understand how markets work. And he has done his due diligence in regards to business building and markets and things of that nature. So let's go finish the rest of this clip from Simply Bitcoin and get into that other clip with what Michael Saylor had said.
If you wanted to maximize the value and acquisition of Bitcoin by the US government during that trade, you would want Bitcoin as low as possible with gold as high as possible. Now, while many people may be thinking this, just take a look at that. Think about that. Yes, gold up 17.5%, Bitcoin down 22%. I'm seeing correlation. But what they're missing, my quant over here, Josh Mann, gets what's really going on. I've actually considered this, but I've come to the realization that this is going to be Trump's pièce de résistance, his grand finale, if you will, the art of the deal writ large. He's going to rug pull all the gold bug nations in the BRICS, and Brazil will be the only one to see it and get out of the way. I won't bother to challenge you to a bet this time. It's true, nonetheless. So I really have.
Now, if you're not familiar, I brought up Josh Mandel before. He was the one that called the 84K low and has also called for the 444K high. And he's making this statement out here, which goes again with what Michael Saylor was saying about. I'm gonna play that clip Michael Saylor later, but basically, there's a whole bunch of people saying the same thing. And when he put here in BRICS, that is also very interesting because Trump did state or threaten BRICS, so to speak. U.S. President Donald Trump threatens BRICS member states with 100% tariffs on Thursday to dissuade them from replacing the U.S. dollar as reserve currency. We are going to require a commitment from these seemingly hostile countries that they will neither create a new BRICS currency nor back any other currency to replace the mighty U.S. dollar, or they will face 100% tariffs, he said on Truth Social. So this, again, potential 3D chess move with all of the gold sitting on the U.S. Treasury books, that is, again, about $800,000. Let's do the real math here. 8,133 metric tons converted into ounces. And then we want those ounces converted into US dollars. Let me pull up my handy dandy calculator. Large you clearing here. Oh, you guys can't see that. Apologies. So we got 286,833 ounces. 286 million. I'm sorry. I'm not able to talk today. And the current price of gold is 3,037. So you're looking at $871 billion. 100,000 million billion. $871 billion. The total crypto market cap currently is 2.67 trillion. Bitcoin is 1.6 trillion. So literally sitting on the balance sheets untouched is half of the current Bitcoin market cap. Now, of course, they can't buy all of that outright. You know, any ejection of that will skyrocket the price of Bitcoin, so they're not able to buy 10 million Bitcoin at this price. Clearly, there's not even 10 million to go around, but could they definitely put a dent in that 1 million? Yes, most absolutely certain. And that's, we'll call it a little less than 4% in the total market cap of gold that's out there that they have sitting on the balance sheets. So this again ties directly into the Michael Saylor statement.
I won't bother to challenge you to a bet this time. It's true, nonetheless. So I really have some bad news for you, and so does James Lavish.
So the very simple idea is buy 20 or 25% of the Bitcoin network on behalf of the US government, catalyze the development of that world reserve capital network, and then let all the Chinese and the Russians and the foreigners sell all their other assets and buy Bitcoin, and then the money flows into the United States. If you want to put a great twist on it, dump your gold, sell all the US gold, buy Bitcoin, then the trade is free because you could buy 5 million Bitcoin for the cost of the gold. You will demonetize the entire gold asset class, and our enemies hold gold in their banks, so their assets would go to zero. Our assets would go to $100 trillion, and we would control the world's reserve capital network as well as the world's reserve currency network.
As usual,
That's the play. That's the, as Josh Mandel says, the piece de resistance, if that actually happens. Like, and ironically, like I looked this up, the president does not need any authority from anyone else. He can actually issue an executive order the same way that FDR did when they made this change to market gold at $35, like made it illegal to hold and then changed the price of gold. And then pretty much we've been stuck at that price. So an executive order, which we've seen Trump sign a bunch of them already, can be done. And you can literally just automatically with the swipe of a pen, we go from $11 billion on our balance sheet to $871 billion in gold. And then that can immediately start to be used to, as Michael Saylor just put, purchase Bitcoin. Now, I have no idea how much of the Bitcoin network they'd be able to buy, but Jesus Christ, that would be a huge, that would be the Omega candle that Samson Mao was talking about, because the minute that the US people find out that the US actually makes that conversion, so it will be before they sell the gold, or before they actually make the purchase of the Bitcoin, someone somewhere will know about the executive order being signed, and the markets are just going to take off, because obviously you do not want to be on the other side of that trade. You want to get in front of that. And that's the opportunity you have right now, because that has not been done. We're speculating, but everything, in my opinion, leans that direction, because there is nothing to stop him from doing that next piece. He's already successfully crashed the stock market, and you're already seeing a decoupling of Bitcoin from the stock market, as well as gold rallying against all this financial uncertainty. And you see that currently there are some countries that do not want to play ball with the tariffs. Some are willing to negotiate. Some are like, yo, we're going to take our gold out. So this is just the heavy hand way that Trump could just do whatever the fuck he wants. Like this quote from one of the White House officials. He's at peak of not giving a fuck anymore. So if that's true, and you look at all these breadcrumbs, then to me that is just like, as Josh Mandel said, the piece de resistance. Like that's the next, that's the nail in the coffin. believe that's coming. Even if you're wrong and you're buying Bitcoin, you're still going to win eventually. So like, to me, again, it's like I mentioned in my previous video about Cardano being an asymmetric bet. This is an asymmetric bet. I don't know if we're going up from here another 3x this cycle, like a lot of people are saying, at least the 250K range. I believe definitely the 150 plus is on the table, which is basically a 2x from here. So you may not get the 10, 20, 30, but it's another asymmetric bet because the existing, what are the other options? As Michael Saylor said, there is no second best. Where else can you store your wealth and it still be there at the end of 4 or 5 years and not debased or inflated away? Like, there is nothing else. So since you have to put it somewhere, then the only thing you can actually do is store it in Bitcoin. And that's gonna be another video that I want to share with you guys about kind of my strategy and what I should have done a while ago and why I'm so confident now. Like, I am super excited about what's happening. I see all this stuff happening on X and people screaming from the rooftops and people on both sides of the political narrative and, you know, hate Trump, hate Elon, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, this is an amazing opportunity. Like, I have done all the research. I'm not over leveraged and I understand Bitcoin enough to be like, this is just a smart move. So it really changes your perspective when you are betting on the right horse. You have the DYOR to back up everything you're doing and you're not over leveraged. It's like, yeah, this is calming for me. I'm actually excited. And the only thing I'm upset about is that A, I didn't get in sooner and learn this lesson in the previous cycle, and B, I don't have any more capital. Like, I'm already stacking about 50 to 60% of my monthly income into Bitcoin. I don't have any additional that I've like already tried to cut back on saving more and more money just so that I can put that into Bitcoin as well. But I'm at the end. Like, I'm even moving right now. I told you guys that, like, moving the stuff that I'm selling, like trying to sell a few items here and there, and that goes into Bitcoin. So I am doing whatever I can to stack as much as possible this cycle. Like, yeah, the writing is on the wall to me. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Do you think this is the global 3D chess move and everybody else is playing tic-tac-toe or checkers? Or are you on the other side of the camp and you think that Trump has no idea what he's doing and he just crashed the market and we're all gonna die and it's gonna get worse? I'm curious. All right, smash that HBO special, help a brother out, like, subscribe, comment down below, and until next time, live daily and achieve your impossible. See ya.
Want to pay your in real life bills with crypto? How about send crypto directly to anyone with a bank account? BRICS Finance is a decentralized solution to be your own bank and connect your crypto earnings to real world bills and payments. They do not take custody of your assets and allow support on multiple blockchains and Web3 wallets. Sign up below using my referral link and you will get $50 back when you make your first $50 bill payment with crypto. Additionally, I will be using referral bonuses to airdrop, donate, or burn based on community feedback. Sign up now.